All right. So like I said, this is our second to last General Assembly of the year. We have some fun things to talk about. We have some serious things to talk about. But that is what we do as a student government. We are here to share with each other what's going on in the school and to uplift each other. And so I'm really grateful to be here with all of you. I'll do the tearful goodbye next meeting, but we'll get to that. Danielle, can you mute the doorbell? All right, thank you so much. And let me make sure I've got, all right. Let's see, we have like 2 minutes. Let's do two people. One good thing that happened to you this week. I'll do one person on the Zoom and one person in the real room. Let's go with Matt. Tell us one good thing that happened to you this past week.
Hey, Cody. Thanks for having me, and thanks for playing that Lindsay Lohan. I had no idea she had a singing career. And to everyone who's not a fan, I say leave her a low hand. I think that's how they said it.
Okay.
Yeah. One good thing that happened last week was spring break for my son. So our family took a week and we headed over the mountains in Washington State, and we spent a beautiful week on the east side of the Cascades. For people not familiar with the Pacific Northwest, it's the Garden of Eden out here this time of year. It's absolutely beautiful.
Wow. Well, you have sold it. You sold it like I sold that Lindsay Lohan album. So I will go check that out. I expect you all to check out Lindsay Lohan. All right, great. And somebody in the room.
I'll go. I'm Steven, and highlight was I held the door for Conan O'Brien at the Harvard Bookstore.
Oh, Conan O'Brien was in town last week, and Steven apparently held the door for him at the Harvard Bookstore. Did you pick up my book while you were there?
I already have it.
Oh, he already has a copy of my book. So all right, we're good. No need to pick up an extra copy unless you want to give it away. No, I'm always down for that. All right, here we go. Back into it. So per usual, we'll do some president updates, we'll do some director updates, and then we will jump into society updates, and then club updates. We're really excited that this month we have our 4 brand new societies that are off and running, and they will have representatives here to speak about what's going on in their. So that's coming up soon. I'll be talking about a couple of things. First, my fun events that I did with Flavor Flav this past week. We did 2 events. He volunteered with me at the Harvard Square Homeless Shelter, and then we did an hour-long talk partnering with the Phillipsburg Sauce Association about sobriety. It was really touching. He was very vulnerable, and I shared a lot about my personal struggles too. And so it was a really great event. And so if you haven't had the chance to check it out, it's on our Facebook. I think it's on our website. So please go and check that out. I had a meeting with Dean Coleman privately this week. Some really good things came up, some not so good things came up. So I'll talk about that. And then we'll kind of turn it to a serious note for a minute. I want to share with you all something that happened to me in November, and share some resources that you all can look at too. And so we're also going to talk about alumni email updates. I don't think I put a slide in for this, so I'll just tell you about it right now. The Alumni Association has decided that they are going to move forward with brand new email forwarding for alumni, and they are prioritizing the classes of 2001 through 2003. And they told me personally that expect this in months, not years. So in the summer, they should start rolling this out for the classes of 21 through 23. Also check our website. I put a whole list of notes up there on our Facebook as well. All right, so here's just a little taste of Flavor and me on CBS News.
Carte blanche.
Flavor Flav has been busy sharing his flavors of love across Cambridge.
Oh, I love Boston. You know what I'm saying? Word up. And I always love coming here, too, all the time.
The music legend arriving at Harvard University for a talk about his sobriety on Wednesday at Harvard's Parlor Room.
We want to be able to share with people what this means to us.
The talk is being hosted with Harvard undergrad and president of the Harvard Association, Cody Christensen.
Flav is very cool, really down to earth.
Just Tuesday, the two were at the Harvard Square homeless shelter making grilled cheeses, with Flavor Flav volunteering his time to feed the homeless while in the area.
And then I asked him, like, what was his favorite thing to have with grilled cheese, and he said peanut butter and jelly.
And if you want to watch the rest, I know it's a cliffhanger right there. Check it out on our Facebook and on YouTube. You can just type Flavor Flav, Cody Christensen, and then it shows up. CBS, it shows up. So that's pretty cool. He was really an awesome guy. Please watch the Sober Talk. I think you'll find some really good tips about how, if you're struggling with addiction, or you know someone who is, there's some really good things that we talked about that might help you out. So please take a look at that.
Carte blanche.
All right, so the meeting with Dean Coleman, the good. So we talked about the email issues. I brought up to her that all the other FAS schools, that's GSAS and the college, which we are part of this trifecta, get to keep their current inboxes for a year after they graduate, which obviously helps for, you know, applying for jobs and all that. And so she was very concerned that we weren't getting that same ability. And actually, we were only getting 40 days after our graduation. So she has been talking to HUIT about that. And hopefully degree earners in May will be able to keep their inboxes for a year like the other schools. So she's working on that. I will give you an update as soon as she updates me about that, which is very exciting, and really a good thing that she's doing. Something that has been, you know, on the top of all of our minds for quite some time is the aliases. Like, why do degree candidates at every other Harvard school get their first and last name, and we get, you know, REA 29-3 or something? I've seen some really bad ones, by the way. Ashley Simone Simpson, you can imagine what her, you can imagine what her 3 letters were. Anywho, so Dean Coleman has been working on this, and right now the issue was what she said, that, you know, we have so many course takers that can get an ID, that if they all use their first and last name, then we would be out of first and last name emails because you can't duplicate them, right? And I said, you know, this should only apply to degree candidates like at other schools. And so I shared with her some information from HUIT that I had conversations with in 2021. And I think this could be rectified pretty soon. She just really has to send them a notification saying that she gives permission for degree candidates to update their alias. So fingers crossed on that one. All right, so another thing that we started this semester, Dean Coleman has been meeting with HESA monthly. She's actually sort of been our advisor for this semester, which has to do with something that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But she has committed to going forward for as long as she's here and as long as HESA is around, to having a monthly meeting, just like the GSAS dean does and the Harvard College dean does, and really, you know, taking what students have to say seriously to a point, I guess. And she also committed to she removed our former advisor, who we had some issues with, and she committed that that person will no longer be working with HESA in the future. So that is another good thing for future student leaders here at HESA. And now the bad. Dean Coleman is still denying HESA the recognition of the official student government of HES, even though in an email a couple days ago, talking about our election protocols, she compared us directly with the Harvard College's student government. And I asked her why you would compare us to HUA if we're not the student government of the Harvard Extension School. She is on this hill talking about engagement. And I said to her that we literally just hosted an event that made international headlines. You want. And yeah, I actually asked her, if it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, is it not a duck? And she responded, it's not a duck, Cody. So, I'm very confused. It boggles my mind. You know, I told her as well that, like, if she was to officially recognize HESA as the student government and uplift the student government, that would make people want to be involved more, right? So by not doing this, you're actually keeping us from potential people who would want to be involved. So it's this weird circle that, you know, she's very stubborn, I'm very stubborn, but I'm going to keep fighting for my fellow students, and I think she knows that. So I'm hopeful that we will be recognized before I leave in May. So keep your fingers crossed. And if you want to send an email to Dean Coleman, dce/dean@fas.harvard.edu, feel free. Tell her how you're feeling. Herself and her assistants, who are amazing, will check your emails. They do read it. So do not be afraid to email the dean of the school. I mean, we are the students. There would not be a dean if there were not students. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they work because we're here. So do not be afraid to email them. Okay, so I just want to, this is going to be a little difficult for me, but I want to share it with you all because it's important to share this. So back in November, Associate Dean of Student Affairs, Shirley Green, approached me at the Harvard Yale tailgate event, and she requested that I meet her around the side of the tent because she needed to tell me something. I folded my arms and she reached into my arms, forcefully grabbed me by the wrist and held it while she told me that the president's office had called her and that they were not going to meet with me and that she would handle it. And then she released it. I was shocked. I was, it really struck me, and it stuck with me for a while. And I just, that should never happen. No administrator, no professor, no one should ever put their hands on you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable or threatened. And I have reported this to the Harvard Human Resources Department. They did have a meeting with myself and Dean Coleman removed her from being our advisor. But at present, she is still the Title IX coordinator, which really boggles my mind that she's representing us to Title IX, which is about, improper touching. And she's also still our liaison to the university's Office of Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging. And I believe this is unacceptable. She should be held accountable. Any administrator that thinks it's okay to put their hands on a student in this kind of way, in any kind of way, should be held accountable. And imagine if this was the opposite. If I had grabbed her like this, the disciplinary action would have been swift and severe, and we all would have heard about it. And I apologize for not telling you all this sooner. It was difficult for me to deal with. I think everybody on the HESA board can attest to that it was something that really bothered me and it really stuck with me. But I think it's important to bring everybody's attention to this so that it doesn't happen again. I told my board that if this woman thought it was okay to put her hands on me like that, the loudest student at Harvard University, she probably did it to somebody before, and she would probably do it to someone again. So this is me coming to you and just telling you what happened, because I don't think she should be working with students ever again at our school. And I don't think we deserve representation that thinks it's okay to grab students and forcefully hold them and try to intimidate them. And one thing that I want to say too is that the first people I told were my friends on the HESA board, and they were very, concerned and supportive. And I think that they let me go at the pace that I needed to go with this this thing that happened to me. And so I really appreciate them. But so we've opened up a couple of ways for you to be able to share something like this if you don't feel comfortable going to administrators, or if the administrator you would go to talk about this was the person that grabbed you, which was in my case what happened. We created a couple of different things, resources for you that you can participate with. So we have the HESA Cares request form and a number. So if you go on our website, you can click on HESA Cares and you can make with your name, or you can make an anonymous claim to talk about anything that's bothering you, not just something like serious, super, I mean, what happened with me. I mean, if you want to talk about problems with a course that you don't feel comfortable talking about to anybody else, if you want to talk about a professor who maybe has treated you wrong or discriminated against you, if a fellow student is making you feel uncomfortable, or if an administrator does something to you that is not appropriate, please fill out this form or dial our voicemail, and we will check it and we will get back to you. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving your name and you want us to report this for you, you can leave a voicemail and we will be happy to do that. Because, you know, what happened to me should never happen to anybody else. And I know personally how scary it can be to come forward with something like this. But you should not be afraid to say something, especially if it could keep this from happening to somebody else. So please reach out to us anyway. You all have my email address, hesa_president@gu.harvard.edu, and I will happily get on the Zoom with you and talk about anything you want to talk about. In that vein, all right, I'm going to turn it over to Danielle, our amazing director of technology, one of the people who has supported me the most through all this. So she's going to tell you a little bit about HESA Hears You and some other things she's been working on.
Thanks, Cody. So on the website, in addition to the HESA Cares request that Cody just mentioned, we do also have our HESA Hears You, which is a series of opportunities to talk with different members of the HESA board, either about the thing that they do on the board or about anything that you need help with, anything that we can provide assistance, or just an ear to talk about whatever to do with school. And I did add, thanks very much to somebody who requested that I add it to the events calendar. So I did add it to the events calendar as well. So it's in there, and there it is. Yep, perfect. And you can get to that either under the resources page on the website or under events. And the events calendar also has all of the other things that we have going on. So you can see the General Assembly, the Professor Spotlight, all of the elections scheduled stuff. I've got all of that in there now. So it's a good resource if you're not sure what's coming up and you want to look at it in a calendar format. That's a good place to do it. This is something that I'm really extremely proud of and really happy to be sharing. So in collaboration with Jason Williams, who's our director of student affairs, yes. We've created some resources for Harvard Extension students. So Jason put together these beautiful flyers, which you can download from this resources page. And I've also collected from the things that he put together, and also some other external, both from Harvard resources and other student opportunities that are available. This page has everything that we could think of, where of course it's going to be continually evolving. So if anybody has anything that we've missed or omitted, please let me know. But please do go to this page, check it out. It has information about some of the resources that you're entitled to as an admitted degree candidate. So not everybody knows that you're entitled to a paid Zoom account through Harvard, and also subscription access to things like 1Password, which is a CISSP, and concerned with cybersecurity in my past and current life, I have to say is excellent. And if you're not using a password manager, you should be. But you can get things like that for free, and we have links to all of them and how to get access on the website now. And it took a while to put together, but yeah, really happy to have this this benefit for everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Danielle. Danielle joined the team earlier this semester, and it's like you've been here the whole time. You're amazing. You're like my rock. I love everybody on this board, but I really just thank you so much for really just coming in, guns blazing, stepping up. You've been such a great ally to me in this and all of us here at HESA. So thank you, Danielle. Yes, please. And password manager? Like, I'm just hearing about this. See, this is why we need these resource sheets. So great job, Danielle and Jason. All right. And of course, our newsletter. So hopefully, most of you got the newsletter sent by the dean's office Friday. Also, they sent the wrong version Thursday, but they did send a new version on Friday. I hope you all got it. Raise of hands of everybody if you got it. Okay, all right, it's not a couple hands. All right, so thank you, and Lindsay. If you want to just get it straight from us and not in like this weird format where you have to click a link to go to other links and yada yadas, just go subscribe to our list directly and we'll send it to you. We'll also send you updates about what's happening in between the times that the official newsletters go out. So sign up for that. So we got a couple of great things coming up. I can't believe we're almost done. Just like 5 weeks away, which is so crazy. So later today, we're going to be doing our professor spotlight with Professor Cynthia Meyersberg. If you came to the society debut, you heard her speak a little bit. She won the HESA Award last year for best professor, best mentor, I believe it was. And she is amazing. She's always great when she talks, very inspiring. So that's great. HESA's teaming up with the Environmental Student Club for Earth Day events. And of course, our elections will be starting very soon. I think we'll talk about that in a minute. And then our last General Assembly will be on the 13th. Kira is working on a talent show. You can submit some videos. We'll have the link out for that soon where you can submit videos of you reading poetry. You can come read poetry live on this. What else can they do, Kira?
They can act, dance, sing, whatever talent that you think, juggle, I don't know. Whatever you think is a talent, we welcome it.
Right. Great. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll be putting out that call for videos soon. And, here, a lot of our students are in like acting classes here at Harvard. They're already recording videos for their, final projects and stuff like that. So yeah, you can submit that to us too. So you're already ready to go. And we would love to see it. We want to support, as you all know, Hira is a great singer. She's going around the world singing. And so we have a ton of HES students who are talented, and we want to see all of you share your talent with us. Okay. And then of course, my favorite event of the year, the HESA Awards, which is going to be hybrid this year. When you get a HESA award, it actually says your name and the award and then the year. People were very surprised last year when they got them that it actually had their name on them. And I was kind of surprised at that. We don't do things half A'd here at HESA, all right? We do it full A. And we want to make this memorable. My advisor, she won Advisor of the Year and Stinnett. It was amazing. Anybody who has had her as an advisor, I mean, she got so many votes last year. I love it. She has it on her desk and she looks at it every day and she says, this was probably one of the most meaningful things that I've gotten because it came straight from the students. I mean, this is the People's Choice Awards for HES. So go vote. We'll have a slide coming up after this, which will have the link to everything. All right. Here we go. Important news and updates. The Dean's office will send out a call for nominations on the 10th. Right now, it looks like you will need a letter of recommendation. Not a big deal, like a paragraph or two from a professor or somebody who works at Harvard or your advisor. So whatever you're planning on running for, you have like you have a couple days to start finding somebody to write you a letter of recommendation. I have emailed them about it, but just go ahead and see if somebody will write you a short paragraph about why you would be good at whatever position you're running for. We'll tell you about that after this. The deadline to submit nominations are 4/14, so you have basically 4 days from when they open to do it. The campaign will begin on the 17th, and so you will then be able to, whatever graphics you have made, you can then promote those on the Facebook groups, on WhatsApp, on social media, however you want to campaign. Try to keep it clean. I know, but this is politics, so things happen. We just last year there were some things that came out about one of my opponents that I don't think he really would have wanted to share, and let's try to keep it as clean as possible this year, please. That would mean the world to me. I really want people to step forward and continue what we've been doing this past year, because we have made some big strides with HESA, and it's only going to go up from here. So please, nominate yourself and join this board for next year, because it's only going to get better. So on the 17th, you can make posters. Just don't put any logos on it. No affiliation with HESA, no affiliation with any of the clubs or societies. None of the logos can be on there. This is about you. That's fine. There's not a lot of rules, except try to keep it nice. And don't bribe anybody. I guess that's probably a good thing. Let's not be bribing people, all right? And then on the 21st at 9 p.m., we'll have a Meet the Candidates event where candidates will actually be able to answer questions and talk about their goals and their views for next year. So please come to that, because I think that'll be really exciting. We did that when I was at NYU, and it's a great way to get to know who's actually going to be representing you in your student government next year. And those people represent you at the higher levels of the university, meeting with presidents and deans and all that. So you want to make sure that you get the right people for the job. 4/24, the polls open for voting. And then on May 1st, we will have the results. This is something we really fought for as a team, was to make sure that going forward, we even put it in our constitution, that going forward, the elections would be held in April. So we would never have what happened last year happen again. So very proud of my team. All right, so here's what we got. The elections that will be up for nomination are president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and then directors of communications, events, technology, student affairs, club and society affairs, director of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, and the director of community and public service. All those roles will be open for you to run for. So if you are planning to run for one of those, start looking now for your recommender and get that all set, so that when the nomination form comes out on Monday, you'll be able to just go with that. Appointed positions. So when the new board takes office on June 1st, they will be able to start appointing their new team. So the liaisons for the different programs, the ALB, ALM, and joint programs. Council reps. Brett can talk about how meaningful that job is, to be a graduate council rep for HESA. And basically that role specifically needs to be people in town, not necessarily on campus, but can come to weekly meetings. Deputy directors, community service officer, which will work with the director of community and public service, assistant to the president, and office of the president. The president is able to appoint assistants who are not degree candidates. So anybody, course takers, can also be assistants to the president. So look out for that after elections in June. All right, so we turned it to gold. Everything that glitters is gold. Here we go. Please, right now, go to tinyurl.com/HESA Awards 23 and RSVP. It will not let you RSVP to this in-person event where there will be free food, which delicious, and drinks, but it will not let you RSVP if you don't nominate people. So I think we all know some undergrads, we all know some graduate students, we know some amazing professors. Put their names down and show them that you care. Some of the awards, we got undergraduate and graduate student leaders of the year, best advisor, most inspiring classmate, inspiring alumni, the Phoenix 180 Award. So people who have really, turned their lives around. This is a great one to self-nominate and tell us your story. And then the Silver Fox Award for students 60 plus. I nominated a good friend of mine. I'm not quite there yet. Whatever. I got some time. We'll see. Let's most active alumni and like rising stars. So, all right, check out that link and nominate your friends and your classmates and your professors and your mentors. And I'll see you on graduation night at Lehman Hall. All right, Brett, President, Harvard Graduate Council, President-elect Brett Monson. Please go ahead.
Thanks, Cody. For the Harvard Graduate Council, we did have elections then and ended up winning the president position. There's 5 of us who ran obviously a great privilege and honor. Always appreciate the support that the HGS community has given. And I would think that like Cody could back me up to say that just Extension School in general has been very active on the council. We've been the leaders for conducting a lot of the business there and driving the mission forward for what we're trying to accomplish in the Harvard Graduate Council and bringing students together from different schools. Idangaset is the vice president. She's from the School of Public Health. And so the cool thing that took place in the elections was that I'm elected and I'm kind of like based in the Cambridge area. Idangaset's in the Longwood campus, and then our chair of program who got elected, Bill Ding, is actually in the Alston campus from the business school. So the 3 of us are getting together on the 11th. We do some planning meetings. We've already had some transition things take place. And in terms of priorities, we have a resolution coming up that we're just trying to make sure that we have representation from all the campuses present to make sure that we're inclusive, and trying to come up with more ways to bring inter-school socials so folks can kind of just meet folks from other schools and so forth like that. And then we did pass the budget then for next year to kind of put all this into place and put some money behind it. And so really excited for this year. Thanks for everybody for all the support, and look forward to keep pushing the mission for HUC forward.
Thank you, Brett, and congratulations again. I don't go on Reddit much, okay, but I did see a post on Reddit saying, well, now that there's an HES president for HGC, the first time in history, what about in extension studies? I'm all right. Brett's going to be fighting for it. The next HESA president is going to be fighting for it. Don't you worry, Reddit fans. Actually, the person on Reddit said, I'm not a big fan of Cody's, but whatever. I'm not here for your fanship. I'm here to serve you as your president. Come on. I got enough fans on CBS News. Okay. All right. Here we go. Moving on. All right. Now it's time for student societies and student club updates. Lindsay, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, thank you. I was hoping that this was the slide you wanted me to talk about. So we had our big new HESA Societies launch a couple of weeks ago, two weeks ago, I think. Maybe it was 3. I don't know. Time doesn't exist anymore. And we had, we don't have the data from every event that HESA has ever done, or that all of the events that the extension school has held, but I think this was probably the biggest event that has happened, that has been put on by extension school students. We had, I believe it was 121 attendees. Is that right, Danielle?
Yeah.
She had the numbers somewhere around there.
Yep, that sounds right.
Yeah, 121 attendees. And it was great. It was a 3-hour event. Most students, Danielle pulled a lot of data from the Zoom information that is collected automatically by attending. I don't know if you guys were aware that Zoom collects that, but I learned it from.
Hey, Lindsay, so you would say that we've increased engagement?
Oh, definitely. That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
I was gonna say that.
I just want that to be on the record, that HESA has increased engagement many times over.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you.
Yes. Students stayed for about an hour and a half to average each, which is a long time to be in a Zoom meeting that is not part of your class. So students were excited to attend this, and all 4 societies, I've seen what they're doing, and they are working on a lot of things. Some have events out, some are all over social media, some are planning a journal. Most of them are planning their elections. And I'm going to let them all talk about what specifically they're working on, because they are up next.
Awesome. Lindsay, again, Lindsay came on like Danielle did around the same time Danielle did, and has been busting her BUTT and killing it. I mean, I am so grateful that you joined the team. So happy that you just stepped up, and if Danielle is my right, Lindsay is my left, and they hold this up and keep me going. So thank you so much, both of you. Lindsay, great job with the student societies. It was very big and you did it. All right.
Thank
So
you.
speaking of, look at these beautiful new logos. And
I forgot to
according
talk about the new logos.
Yeah.
Are you going to
Yeah,
do
go
that?
ahead. No, you go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. We sent out a message to all of the club and society leaders. There was an article in the Crimson not last month. That was about 2 months ago. And the DCE office sent us an email saying that we have to add the word student into each of the group names. And the HES has to stand for Harvard Extension School, not Harvard Extension Student. So if you notice a change in the logos, that is to be in compliance with that with that rule that has been in existence for many years, but they're just starting to crack down on it. And I haven't seen the clubs make their updates yet, but those should be coming soon too.
Cool. Thank you so much. All right. For the first time in HESA history, I get to say, can a representative from the Harvard Extension School's Creative Writing and Literature Student Society talk about this slide?
And to mark
Is
history,
that
yes,
art?
we can. Yes, it is.
Yeah, we're making
you hear me?
history today, right now.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Lindsay. Thanks, everyone. Just let you know, we're getting up and running. We are starting to get our feet wet. Last week, we conducted our first 2 meet and greet sessions. We had pretty good attendance. We had, I think, 9 on the first one, 7 on the second one. We recorded the first one. Actually, we recorded both, but I put the first one on our Facebook page. And a lot of people have been viewing it. So word's getting out about what we're doing, how we're doing things, which is really great. For our social media footprint, we have a Facebook group. We have an Instagram page. We have a WhatsApp chat group and a LinkedIn group that's all up and running. We're having a little bit of issues with our LinkedIn this morning, but it should be fixed by the end of the day. Down on the bottom of the slide is our link tree. If you want to check that out, all our stuff is right there. Above that is our temporary society email address. We are hoping, and I'll throw this bug in somebody's ear, to maybe get a Harvard email address, an EDU email address for societies. Would that be a possibility?
Let me look into that. Yeah, let me look into that.
Thank you. But we have our gmail.com set up. So that will be our official email address for all correspondence. As of right now, I have 120 people, students and alumni, on our mailing list. So we're kicking off really good. Our first monthly meeting is going to be held this coming Tuesday at 5 p.m. Harvard time. We're going to talk about our upcoming events. We need to solicit for a new director of events because our current director of events is graduating this May, and we have a few other things. We're going to finalize our constitution and ratify it. So just putting the finishing touches on getting started, and then we're going to get kicked off. We're write-ins, writing workshops, all our Zoom events are going to start next week after our first meeting. And if you didn't know it, this month is National Poetry Month. So what we're doing is, if you have any poetry that you would like to see published, so to speak, send it in to us. We'll post it on all our social media pages to get your poetry and your name out there the best we can.
Very good. Very good. I'm going to send you one after we get done with the Professor Spotlight. I've got a few.
Perfect.
Very angsty, emo sort of, I've been dealing with a lot this semester. So you'll see. All right.
The more
Thank you so much, Art. Thank you
you
so much. All right, next up, every society club leader, you got about 2 to 3 minutes. We're kind of running long on time because we had to talk about the election. So someone from the HES IOPSS, anybody here? If not, Lindsay, do you want to read it off for them? Or just briefly go
Sure.
through it?
This is the first I've looked at it. I think Heather just updated it this morning. I know that they've been working on getting all their social media accounts updated. They do have them all up and running. Looks like the dates of their events are to be announced on social media. They're doing something. I wonder if SIOP, I don't know what SIOP, I'm not in that field of study, so I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
familiar with the next
I would
things on the
say-
list.
I would say just go to their more. Yes, check it out. I bet they explain it there, and hopefully next month they will have a representative here. Okay, moving on. HES GDPSS. I know we have someone here.
Yes, hi everyone. Hopefully my connection's good. I'm at
We hear you. Yep, we hear you. We see you.
Sounds good. So thanks for coming here. My name is Michelle. I'm the president of Harvard Extension School Global Development Practice Student Society. Very mouthful. So HES.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here. So we are very much on the gear. So there's 2 areas we're focusing on. One is, of course, that election part, getting people running, getting people nominated. That is a big effort we're putting on. So we've been going also into like classroom talk to many of these people within our faculty and professors where our students are concentrated at. But you don't have to be in global development to be able to join our club. So if any of you are interested, it is right there. We will also be doing some coffee chats in April 14th and 21, both at 12 p.m. EST. So anyone's welcome to join. As well as, so in terms of social media channels, there's our WhatsApp group, Instagram. We also have our email, and we also have a form where you can express your interest for joining and find a little bit more about us. One last piece, in addition to online effort, we're really trying to build close relationship out with our faculty dean, as well as our professor, trying to have that academic and international like connection as well too. So more of those things are coming soon.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Michelle. Yeah, please follow their Instagram for all the information. I'm sure they're going to put stuff about the elections there and all the links that you can find right there. So up next, HES PSS. Anybody here?
I'm here. Hello. Sorry, I'm on poor connection out of town, but thank you so much for having us. I'm just going to do a really quick thing because everything we have is online. I shared the links for our social media, our website, everything. We are rebranding. So excuse us with some HESPS stuff. Those are outdated, but we're working on them. We have a lot of events coming up. We're kicking off our podcast on the 12th. Is going to be recorded. It's not going to be released on that day, but yeah, we have many events, and you can also suggest events to us. I'm going to post the link for a form. And if you go to the next page, please.
Yeah.
That's also like all the types of social media stuff that we have, and you can become a member and hopefully join our WhatsApp for more information as well.
Wait, is this Kimia? I can't see who's talking.
Yes,
Is that
it is
Kimia?
me. Yes.
Yeah, Kimia, I want to say, I said this at the society event, but like Kimia has gone above and beyond like what we asked of like society leaders. I mean, she has done the darn thing. And that is an example to follow for all the societies that come after this amazing first group of societies. So please look at all of their stuff. They're doing great. Kimia, great job.
Thank you so much.
All right, on to our student clubs. Anybody here?
Hello.
Alexandra?
This is Mia Pai. I'm Alexandra, the president of HESIRC. So I'm just going to go through a few of our events coming up. So we have on April 14th, we're going to join the Management and Finance Club's coffee chat. So please feel free to come out and chat with us. It'll also be a time to discuss any opportunities that we will have for our upcoming elections. If you have questions for any board members about any positions that we have open, please just feel free to come and talk with us as well as the members from the Management and Finance Club. And then you can go next. We have a wonderful event with Dr. Coulibaly coming up. She'll be talking about atrocity prevention and the facets of genocide. So that will be on April the 15th from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And I will be dropping links in the chat if you want to register for any of these events. You can click next. We have another event we're really excited about. So we've been partnering up with an organization in Washington, D.C. It's the Military Women's Memorial, headed by Kathleen Pearl, a wonderful colleague in the area. And so she has offered for us to come and do a private guided tour on April the 16th at the memorial in Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. So there is an application registration. We are locked in at 25 participants for this tour. So if you'd like to apply, we will take all the way up until we get 25 people. That is open to any Harvard affiliates, alum, and then any invited guests that you'd like to bring with you. And then building onto that, we will be doing a Zoom panel discussion on May 7th to talk about preserving her story. And that will just be discussing these oral histories for the Afghan female support teams. So it's kind of a build on panel to discuss after we've gone to the museum.
Amazing.
And then if you'd like to connect with us, these are again, all of our social media channels. Our WhatsApp will be on the next page. And then I will drop the link in the chat to our activities page as well. And then we will be announcing official elections coming up soon. We've been in discussion with the OSA office about the official dates for all of the 3 clubs for our election. So watch out for those. And then again, if you have questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me or any board members regarding election details. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hey, Alexandra, is the OSA sending out your election ballots, or are you sending them out to your?
We are going to be sending out our own.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure. All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, please join their WhatsApp. Let me tell you, it is lively, and I'm learning more about international relations than I ever thought I would be able to. I mean, did y'all see me in my UK Union Jack flag at the society event? No, check it out. There's a video. It was very posh. All right, environmental student club, are you here? No, I don't immediately hear Mark coming on with a joke.
I don't think they are, but I
All
can
right.
say that we're working on planning a joint event for Earth Day. So I could talk about that.
Yeah, and
I think it might be in the slides. Or maybe he
No, I
didn't put it there. I
Nope.
don't see it in the slides. So it's going to be a 2-day event, possibly longer. On Saturday, the 22nd, there's an Earth Day cleanup at the Arboretum, which I've not been to. But
Wow.
it's somewhere in the Cambridge area, maybe in Boston, not sure.
Yep.
And one of the professors is leading that. It's something that she already had planned, and so that we're kind of tagging along that. And then afterwards, we're having a couple of professors give a presentation, which is the hybrid part of the event. And then on Sunday night, I forgot what time. I think it's at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So it's kind of a time where it's easier for the global community to join. There will be a trivia night on environmental trivia.
Cool. All right, next up. Management and Finance Club, Management and Finance Student Club, pardon me. Nope. All right, so go ahead and just follow them on WhatsApp and you can find out what they're doing. All right, Sherry, you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on with the International Students Committee?
Sure. So this is a WhatsApp group for all international students. It is very active. We talk about struggles, problems, and solutions, most importantly. So from anything to visa problems, to immunization, to housing, everything's on there, to professor feedback, course feedback. So please join this group, and we want to expand our community as much as possible.
And how are things going with the Diversity, Inclusion, Equity, and Belonging Committee that you started?
Oh, that's great as well. I'm in talks with doing joint event with one of the societies. So that's gonna come up soon as well.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. Sherry also started pretty recently earlier in this semester, not recently. It's been like, feels like years again. Sherry's been a great asset to the team. So we hope she sticks around. Yeah, thank you so much, Sherry. Great job for stepping up all the time. Appreciate it. All right, speaking of the committees, if you want to join her committee, it's bit.ly/HESA Inclusion Committee. Yeah, and then you can also join the events committee. There's information there. And here we are. We're almost at the end of this meeting. We're almost at the end of our term. Very sad, exciting, mostly exciting. No, we're all very excited about what's going to happen next semester. So we have one last General Assembly on May 13th. So please come by. At that time, we will know who the new board is going to be. They won't be officially taking office yet, but we will know who they are. And so we will welcome them and say goodbye to the current members who are not going to be continuing on. All right, so sign up for the newsletter right here with this QR code. Please nominate your friends, professors, mentors, enemies for the HESA Awards, frenemies, whatever. And yeah, we'll update you next month with our next meeting with Dean Coleman. And we have 3 minutes. So if anybody wants to ask any questions or share anything exciting, now is the time.
I have a question about these reference letters. Do they have to come from somewhere within the Harvard community, or can they be like an outside party writing these letters?
It looks, we saw the preview of it, and it looks like it has to be someone from the Harvard community. It's like a professor, advisor, a mentor, something like that. Emina, I didn't see you there. Hi, how are you? Our current director of community and public service. Can I maybe give them a little sneak peek at what we're working on?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be doing a June 10th summer supply drive for the Harvard Square Homeless Shelter. It's really exciting. So we're working on getting visuals together, and we'll have those out soon.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're working on we're going to call Spring It into Summer Supply Drive. I will be once again being the staff supervisor for the Harvard Square Homeless Shelter this summer. It'll be my last summer doing that. We always need things. If you watched the interview with myself and Flava Flav, he brought in bread, and that was a big deal because we were always out of bread. We make a ton of grilled cheeses. So Emina and I will be doing that. We'll probably start it in May so that we can start getting the products ready for June 10th. And so it's gonna be great. And we thank you ahead of time for supporting us. Okay, we have a few minutes. Does anybody want to talk about anything? No, Kimia?
Yeah, thank you. Just want to let everyone know, because this was a really big, like mostly requested by all students. I put it in the chat. We did a little post on it. We're having an event with Dr. Krasnow and Dr. Tierney, I believe that's how her name's pronounced, with a panel of students, alums, and current students that are going through either capstone or thesis. And they're gonna help answer your questions, because I know a lot of people are confused like if they should go the capstone route or thesis route. So there's gonna be a Q&A, and everyone's welcome. Just please make sure you register so you receive the link.
Great. I was just kind of going through the chat, and I saw someone ask about like if you're like a club leader or something, can you run? Yes, it is not suggested because the HESA role is like a full-time job. But I have done a couple of different things this semester, but it all depends on you as a person, if you can actually handle that kind of stuff. So it's not really suggested. We really ask that, HESA is your first priority. But if you are, let's say, I don't know, the secretary of the IRC, and you want to potentially do something like a deputy director of something at HESA, that could probably work, so it's a less stakes. But we do kind of want you to put one thing over the other, but we're not going to say that you cannot do both because that's not fair. So, yeah. All right. It's 1 o'clock. Thank you so much. Also, please keep in mind what I said. If anything happens to you that is not okay, please reach out to us. Use our voicemail. We are here for you, and we really want to support you. So please say something if something's bothering you. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful. Yes, I saw Lindsay.
Don't we have a professor spotlight right now?
We
too?
do.
Okay.
So we're going to stop the recording now, Danielle.